Okay, good afternoon class. So at this point we are looking at the grade 12 paper 2 that you guys have written in the Jude exam. Okay. The paper was out of 150 marks and it was 3 hours long. Okay. So question 1. So we are told that the following table shows the absenteeism of 280 employees of a company in 1 year. Right. So from 0 to 5 or less is 32, the frequency, cumulative frequency. So the question is complete cumulative frequency column. So of course that's going to give you 32. 32 plus 67 is 199. 199, sorry. And the next one is going to be? Sorry? 230. And then it's going to give you 273. And then 280. People, that will always be the total number of employees. Or total number of people or categories or whatever this cumulative frequency represent. It will always be the sum of the column here. It will always be the total. Okay. Then it says on the grid provided, draw the ogive. So to draw the ogive graph, I would probably need to make this a bit smaller. But we actually don't want to make it smaller because of the closeness of these values. Okay, so when we plot the following. We go with 5 and 32, 10 and 99. So we go 5 and 32. 5 is on your X. 32. So if this is 40, that is 20. So each stroke represents 4. It looks like it, no? Each stroke represents 4. So it's going to be 20, 24, 28, 32. So it's on that line there. That's all. Because the next one would have then been 36 and then 40. So each stroke represents 4. Okay? Then we say 10 and 99. So 10, here's 10. And 99 is 1 less or half. Yeah, less than 100. It's approximately there. Okay, Mr. Steerman, if you're standing, nobody's going to look at me. Huh? Make quick. The next one? 15 and 230. 15 and 200 and... If 220 is there, 24, 28, so 230 is approximately there. This is all approximation, people. Okay. And then the next one was 20 and 270. Yes, 20, 273. That's 260, 264, 268, 272, 73 is approximately there. And then 225, 25 and 280, which is the last value there. Can you see that, people? So that gets you 1 mark, the points on its right place. The mark is only obtained once the graph is drawn as well. No? This graph must be drawn freehand. Okay, if it's drawn with a ruler, you also lose a mark. Okay. And we're always grounded. We always draw it to the value line here. Whatever the value is, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 3. You ground it to 3 or 5. In this case, it's 0. So we must ground it to 0 there. You guys understand? And there we go. That gets you your 3 marks there for the question. Okay. Any confusion here? The next question, it says, using the given information, use the given information and determine the approximate number of employees absent 13 days or less. So 13 days or less. So the x-axis represents the days. So if this is 10, this is 15, 13 is in the middle here. Can you see that? And do what I'm doing, I mark this on the diagram. So that the examiner knows I know what I'm doing. So what I do is I take my ruler, which you guys use very seldom. You go up onto the graph, and then you bring it across. Now mine is exactly 200. Can you see that? But yours will be within that vicinity, that values. Okay, on the memo, what did I write? 183. There was 183. Of course, it won't be a value less than 200 because that's that 1 point there, or a value more than this value there. Okay, because that is within that value set. No? Yes?
If you get a value that's in between those.
Sorry?
If
You're going to be a value less than 100. Then of course you're not going to, because this 13 has to lie between those two endpoints, those two extreme points. So if it's 13, it can never be less than this value here, which in turn is less than 100. Or it can't be more than 20, which in turn, not 20, sorry, which is 15, which is in turn that value there. You understand? So it's between those points. But what we do is when we mark this paper, we actually check your graph. Does your answer actually make sense? Because if mine is 200, it doesn't mean to say 200 is going to be correct for you. Why? Because your graph is probably at 13, not going through 200, it's going through 183, as I have in the memo. And the memo and paper, of course, can be found in the description below. Okay. So that is what it comes to. We check that you have used your graph, and we give you the marks according to what your graph states. Okay. People, the next question. So 13 days or less, I'm coming to 200 employees. 200. More than 17 days. So we're looking at 17 days first. So 17 is approximately, that is 15, so 17 has to be there. Again, I take the ruler, that I get the reading there. So that is 240, 244, 248, 252. So I'm getting here 252 to 52. So it says more than. So it's this part of the graph. Can you see that, people? So it's going to be 280 minus 252. 280 minus 252. And that is now going to give you an answer of 28. Not degrees, but 28 employees. Okay, is that correct? And on the memo I got 24. Same calculation I made? Okay. Right, next question. Right, so that is still dealing with the OJAP graph here. So here we are told, let's just take this out. So here we are told, determine the median number of days absent. People, the median is the middle value, not so the middle value of sorted data. Now 218, this data is sorted, not so? So the middle of 280 is 114. So there is 114 here, not so? So again I take my ruler, I take the reading and I go down here. Can you see that? So that is 10, 11, 12, whoops, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. People, 13 is supposed to have been there. Not so. So it's a bit higher here. That was, we have marked 13 and 17 isn't correct. Because each one actually represents, each line represents one. So I took 13 and 17 at the wrong reading. This just goes over a bit. Okay, I would have realized in this question. So it's just a bit higher than that. Okay, sorry about that. However, the median comes to this value. As you can see, it's smack bang in the middle. So it's going to be 10.5. My median comes to 10.5. What was it in the memo? 12. Okay, because the graph was probably a bit steeper. Did I take the reading by 140? Huh? Yes, 140 for the median. Okay, and the last question here. The percentage of workers absent more than 20 days. The percentage of workers absent more than 20 days. So what was the reading at 20? What was the reading at 20? Okay, at 20 it was 43. So more than 20 is 7. Not so. So it's going to be 7 over 280. And I multiply that answer by 100. So 7 over 280 times 100. That's going to give you 2.5%. Okay. That's 2.5%. Of people are absent for more than 20 days for the year. Okay. Let's go to the next one. In 1.2, the table below shows the marks gained in a test by a group of students. The median is 3. So the middle number is 3. Sorry, the median is 3. So Q2 is 3. The middle number is 3. The mode, the number that occurs the most, of course, is 2. This is find two possible values for P. Okay. So the people who got 1 mark is 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The people who got 2 marks is 10. So it's 2 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The people who got 3 marks is P. So we don't know how many people got 3 marks. Okay? How many got 4 marks? 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many people got 5 marks? 2. This is also your frequency, okay? The number of students is your frequency in that category. Okay, so you all understand this so far, no? So if your median is 2, what does that mean to say? The median is 3. So the number in the middle is 3. Not so. So it's either an odd amount of numbers, which means to say 3 is in the middle, or if it's an even amount of numbers, there must be 2 3s in the middle. Not so. Your mode is 2. So what does that mean? The number that occurs the most is 2. Which means to say 3 can't occur more than 10 times. So P has to be a number less than 10. You guys understand? Okay. So for the middle numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So I'm trying to locate the middle value. So I got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what am I left with? I'm left with those numbers. Okay? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 twos. And whatever amount of 3s they are. Okay. So if you look at this now, we say, okay, there has to be, for the number to be in the middle, for 3 to be in the middle, okay, I must add a few 3s here. Let's add the same amount of number here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I have 7 2s and 7 3s, that means to say the mode is going to be 2 and 3. But that can't be the case. So then I must take 1 3 away here. Can you see that, people? Sorry? Was it add another 3? Why?
So then it becomes 8 3s and then you count
8 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Wait, I need to confuse.
add 8 3s.
8 3s.
Yes.
I didn't have to take this off the board actually. I had to keep this here. So I'm getting confused now because I don't know what I took off. Right. So what is it counted for? Here are those numbers then, no? Right. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I count on the sides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. So that's where I'm at. Okay. So for 2 to be the mode, the maximum number of 3s there could be is 9. Why? Because if 2 is the mode, then you can't have 3 to be more than 10 2s. Okay? In this case 10 3s. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So with 6 plus 3 is going to be, P can be 9 3s. Okay? So if Q3, if Q2 is 3, then the number in the middle has to be a 3. Not so. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 1. So there's 2 3s in the middle. Can you see that? So it's 9. If I had given one less, would it still satisfy the condition for P is equal to 8? If P is equal to 8 and that 3 is out, then that 3 will be in the middle. So it still satisfies the condition. If you take another 3 away, then that means to say there's going to be 2 and 3 in the middle, which can't be the case. Okay. So the answer to this P can either be 8 or P can be 9. Okay. This is a nice question to think about. Okay, so in question 2, we are told that the number of aces served and the total points won by Kevin Anderson at the Wimbledon in 2018 were compared to round 1 to the final. The results are shown in the table below. Okay. So round 1, the first round, second, third and so on. The number of aces, you guys know what the ace is? No. I think that is a serve and the person doesn't return the balls, no? He misses out or hits it out of the court or whatever. Okay, so it's like a duck in cricket. You guys know what that is? The duck. They bowl the guy out on his first ball. We're making no runs. It's accumulating no runs in the game, no? First cricket, the duck, and then the ace is the tennis. Sorry? So the guy, he serves the ball and the opponent doesn't return the ball. No? So in the first round there's 20 aces and the total points won is 106. The second round is 34 aces and so on. Okay. Write down the correlation coefficient. So what is your correlation coefficient? Your R value, not so. So for your correlation coefficient, remember we have to program our calculator. Okay, to program calculator you press mode, 3 for stat, 1 for variance. No, not variance. Mode, stat, correlation coefficient is actually your least squares regression line. So your aces we'll put on your x-axis, while your total points won is on your y. Okay. Both are in this case independent variables. Okay. So this is going to be 20. Can somebody read out the values for me? 20. 34 is
22,
22,
20,
20,
27,
27,
49,
49,
10,
huh?
10.
10. Okay, 10. The corresponding Y values?
106,
106, yes.
143,
143.
105, 168,
Just hang on. 143, 105, yes.
168,
168, yes.
190,
190,
298,
298,
74.
74. Okay, so what do we press thereafter? You see, it's all clear. Shift 1, 5 for regression, 3 for the correlation coefficient. 0, 88. They ask you to describe a correlation coefficient, or they ask you to interpret this answer. What would it be? It will be strong and positive. So it's positive and strong, or very strong and positive. Okay? It's basically the borderline, they are very strong. Okay? 2.2, what conclusion can you reach about the strength of the, I just said that now. So it's going to be positive and a strong correlation there. Determine the equation of the least squares regression line. That is in the form of y equals a plus bx. There we go. Shift 1, 5 for regression, 1 for a, 17,93. 17,93. And then for your b value, shift 1, 5 for regression, 2 for your b value, which is 5,3. So it's plus 5,3x. Okay. And then calculate how many points Kevin is predicted to win if he serves 40 aces during a match, correct to the nearest integer. Nearest integer is basically the nearest whole number there. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to say then, with this one here, if it's 40 aces, then aces represents the x. Not so. So it's simply going to be 17,93 plus 5.3 times 40. So it's going to be 17,93 plus 5.3 times 40. It's going to give you 229,93. 229,93. But they ask you to the nearest integer. So it's approximately 230 points. You will gain or get in relation to the other currencies. Okay. Right, in question 3.1. Refer to the sketch alongside. We are told that A is x and y, B is negative 4 and q, and of course C is 2 and 1, D is negative 3 and 0, M, which is 0 and 3, is the midpoint of line segment. So that is the midpoint of line segment AC. We are then told that also that B, D, M is a straight line. Right, first question. Determine the coordinates of A. Determine the coordinates of A. So people, we know that this is the midpoint. Not so. So if that's the midpoint, we're going to say that x plus 2 over 2 is equal to 0. And y1, which is y plus y2, which is 1, over 2 is equal to 3. People, that x1 plus x2 over 2, these are end points. Those are those points. The end points on the line segment. Okay. So we cross multiply here. So that is x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to minus 2. And then we cross multiply y plus 1 is equal to 6. So y is equal to 5. So we got A to be negative 2 and 5. Okay. Then the second part of this question says, determine the equation of the line passing through D, let's make this a bit smaller. Determine the equation of the line passing through BDM, which is this line. Okay. So what do I need in order to calculate the equation of that line? I need to know the gradient. So the gradient is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now I'm not going to use the coordinates of b because b has an unknown value there. Can you see that, people? So I'm going to use m, which is 0 and 3, and d, which is negative 3 and 0. So it's going to be 3 minus 0 over 0 minus minus 3. We give an answer of 1. So y is equal to 1x plus c, but we know that c is your y-intercept, and in this case it's 3. Okay, so the equation of this line is y equals x plus 3. Okay. Let's look at the next question. We are asked to show that that angle is 90 degrees. So BMC. People, if lines are perpendicular, lines are perpendicular, we know that the product of the two gradients is negative 1. So I know at this point that the gradient of MB is 1. So if I can prove that the gradient of AC is minus 1, I've done the job. So let's work out the gradient of AC. So again, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it's 1 minus 5 over 2 minus minus 2. So that gives you minus 4 over 4, which is negative 1. People, I could have used M and C or M and A as one. Doesn't matter. Okay. So we say, since we're stating now the obvious, since the gradient of MB times the gradient of AC is equal to negative 1, therefore BM is perpendicular to AC. And immediately I draw the 90 degrees in there. Okay. Just in case we need it later on. Okay, so in 3.4, the question says determine the length of BC. Leave your answer in third form if necessary. So the length of BC, I'm going to use the distance formula, is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So for BC, okay, for how many marks is that? 4 marks. For BC, I actually need the coordinates of B. Not so. So if we need the coordinates of B, we know that B is also, put this here, we need that Q value. So what we're going to do is we're going to substitute B, which is negative 4 in Q, into Y equals X plus 3. The equation of line BC. Like, go. Stop it, please. You don't mind. It's irritating. Okay? That's the X and the Y. So Q is equal to negative 4 plus 1, which is, sorry, plus 3, which is negative 1. Is that correct? Okay. Now I can calculate BC. So BC is going to be the square root of negative 4 minus 2 squared plus negative 1 minus 1 squared. So BC works out to be 6 squared is 36, 40, so it's 2 root 10, I think it is. It's 2 root 10, correct? Right, so that works out to be, BC is going to be 2 root. Again, I'm going to take this off here, and I will leave the space again. That's the last question. Huh? No. Wasn't here a distance question or an area question? No. I kept it easy for you guys. Okay. Let's go to number 4. In question 4, in the figure alongside, the center of the circle is E. H is the y-intercept of the circle and the x-intercept of the origin. It's also the y-intercept of the origin. Okay. We are given also that G is 4 and 7. First question. Determine the center E and the radius of the circle correct to the nearest whole number if the equation is x squared minus 4x plus y squared minus 7y is equal to 0. So, to extract the coordinates of the center of the circle, I need to complete the square. And for the radius, we will get it on the right hand side once the equation is in standard form. So we know that we've got x squared minus 7x plus some number plus y squared minus 7y plus that number is equal to the first number plus the second number. As you can see, it's got 0 there. If I put 0 plus the first number plus the second number is the same thing. Okay? So what number must be added here? 7 over 2, and it must be squared, which is 49 over 4. That's 7 over 2 squared. No, this is a 4 here. So this must be 2 squared, which is 4. And then that one is going to be 7 over 2 squared, which is 49 over 4. Okay. So this will simply be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 7 over 2 squared is equal to 16 is 50 is 65 over 4. Is that correct? So what's the center of the circle or the coordinates of E? 2 and 7 over 2. Does it make sense? Yes. The x and the y is positive. Okay. And what is the radius? Remember, this is r squared. So it's the square root of 65 over 4, which is the root of 65 over 2, or a decimal. This is the square root of 65 over 4, which is 4,03, which is approximately 4. Why? Because they wanted to the nearest whole number. Okay. Yes?
E is not so useful because it says continuous.
Sorry?
For E,
Okay, determine the center E and the radius of the circle correct to the nearest whole number. Yeah, it's actually the radius that we're looking at for the nearest whole number. Okay. So you wrote 4. Did you write 2 and 4? Okay, you should have gotten the mark here because it's not clear. Okay. It should be there to state clearly that I'm referring to, I have to state clearly that I'm referring to the radius in particular. Okay. Sorry about that. Determine the coordinates of H. The coordinates of H, of course, is the y-intercept of this straight line. That's the y-intercept of the circle. So how do we calculate the y-intercept? We let x equal to 0. Not so. So we also should also know that this graph is symmetrical. This point is symmetrical about G. So I would say H is 0 and 7. Okay, because that's symmetrical. But not all of us think in that line. Okay, so the y-intercept is x equal to 0. So what we say is, if x is 0, we'll have 0 minus 2 squared plus y minus 7 over 2 squared is equal to 65 over 4. Okay, so y minus 7 over 2 squared is equal to, take that 4 over the equal sign becomes minus 4. So it's 65 over 4 minus 4 gives you 49 over 4. I take the square root, I must not forget, plus minus. So y minus 7 over 2 is equal to plus minus 7 over 2. But take it over the equal sign, it becomes 7 over 2 plus 7 over 2, which is 7. Or 7 over 2 minus 7 over 2 is 0. Hence, it explains that it's going through the origin. And this h, therefore h has to be 0 and 7. Again, you don't have to go through all of that. Okay, we can use the fact that those points are also symmetrical. Okay. Okay, because of the origin here. I'm just thinking now that if I move the circle a bit over, then this, no, it's not going to be safe to just use symmetry here. Okay, because if that circle had just gone a little bit over, then the value of your h would have changed. Okay, it's just by chance here that it's symmetrical about g. Unless they told us it's symmetrical about g, then I can assume that. Otherwise, if you had come to 0 and 7 without this method, then you should have lost the marks. Okay. So, yeah, you get 7 and 0 there. Okay. 2.3. 4.3, sorry. Okay, so we're going to write the equation of the circle here quickly. We got x minus 2 squared plus y minus 7 over 2 squared equal to 65. Okay. So now we are asked in 4.3, calculate HO put it to one decimal place. So HO, which is this angle here. Okay. So what I do is I conclude a triangle there. We know that would be 90 degrees. Okay, I drop it 90 degrees onto that. So this length here, from that point to E, is of course 2 units. And from this point to H, okay, that is 7 over 2 here. That is 7 over 2 here. And that is 7. So what is the length of H in this point here? 7 over 2. Okay, as you can see, 7 minus 7 over 2 is 7 over 2. So I have a triangle looking like this. That is 2 and 7 over 2, and this is the angle in question. Okay. So that is E, H, and at the bottom of course is O. Okay. So which trigonometric function uses opposite and adjacent? Tan. So I say tan of angle E, H, O is equal to opposite, which is 2 over adjacent, which is 7 over 2. So we go arctan or shift tan. Shift tan of 2 divided by 7 over 2 is 29,74. Okay. So EHO is 29,74 degrees. It says one decimal place, the 29,7. Okay. Then we are told in 4.4, sorry, if AJ is a tangent to a circle at G, which is 4 and 7, determine the equation of the tangent. So firstly, we know that the tangent is perpendicular to the radius. So work out the gradient of EG. Okay, so the gradient of EG is changing Y, we change in X. So it's 7 minus 7 over 2 divided by 4 minus 2. So that gives us an answer of 7 minus 7 over 2 over 4 minus 2. Give an answer of 7 over 4. Is that correct? Right, so the gradient of the tangent is going to be the additive inverse of this. So 7 over 4 multiplied by the gradient of the tangent is negative 1. The gradient of the tangent is negative 4 over 7. So my equation now reads y is equal to negative 4 over 7x plus c. Now I substitute g, which is 4 and 7. Remembering this is an x and a y here. So I say 7 is equal to negative 4 over 7 times 4 plus c. So it's going to be 7 plus 16 over 7 is equal to c. So c works out to be 49 is 59 is 65. Is that correct? 65 over 7. So y is equal to negative 4 over 7x plus 65 over 7. Okay. That brings us to the end of question 4. Okay. Question 5. Question 5, we are told a given circle, center D. Center D, then this angle will be 90 degrees then. Not so. Then A, O, and C. Hi boss.
So it was actually quite dull, eh?
Saying what?
That's right.
Okay, so A, O, and C lies in circumference of the circle. Okay? AO is equal to OB, which is equal to 2 root 30. Then we are told that BOC is a straight line. Okay, there's nothing, we can't move this much, unless we just minimize it. OB and OA, ne? OB and OA. So here we got 2 root 13, OA, 2 root 13. Okay. So let's look at the first question. First question says, okay, we got 3 minutes left, okay. So I think we'll stop here, and then tomorrow we will carry on with the question paper, okay. You guys want to carry on? No. You didn't even want to do this when you started, no? But anyway, the question paper and the memo can be found in the description box below.